Hello to a custom Map Cup cast for the Seasonal Map Cup. This is Operation Infatuate, VonIvan's newest map for the next upcoming season. And we have VonIvan in the west end of Operation Infatuate on Soviet Union running Tank Hunters, Urban Defense. He's been trying to make this work again, and his signature guard motor. He has the faster build time on penals and increased dispatch time on shocks and guards by 10% on all of it. Penal Battalion with the 3% increased accuracy, and then the 5% faster between shots on the combat engineers. On the east end of Operation Infatuate, we have Talisman on OKW running Firestorm, Luftwaffe, and Scavenge with the 10% faster dispatch time on the Yag Tiger, the 5% increased acceleration, 4% increased movement speed on the Kubel, 2% faster between shots and reload on the Volksgrenadiers. And for those of you who do not know the map, let's go ahead and give a quick gander at the cutoffs. We have one in the north, and in the north, south, and south, you take both. You cut off the entire map from your opponent, the fuel right outside the base, but you do need one of those cutoffs to actually connect it up and through. Munitions off in the far corners with the VP slightly offset down the middle of the map. And for those of you who have any curiosity about the map, we do have it based on a real area. Operation Infatuate was a British military operation in the late stages of the war on the Walcheren Island, where they had a military inundation where they bombed out the sea dike and flooded the whole area. Like 200,000 plus agricultural animals were lost. Not so many civilians from what I could see, but this is based off of that area that was flooded out and invaded, I guess you could say, by the UKF. Munitions prioritization from VonIvan up in the northwest. Grabbing the fuel secondary. He is going into special rifle, but with a conscript squad at the start. So this leads me to believe that he's going to go tank hunters with this, as it's something that he likes to do when he goes into special rifle. And the tank hunter upgrade will go onto the conscripts. He'll keep his anti-infantry effectiveness for the penal battalion. So it gives him a slight soft deterrent for light vehicles. Now, against OKW, it depends on what his opponent does, but the Volksgrenadiers should handedly win this engagement, even with that 5% faster between shots on the combat engineers, and they do straight away retreat. Stern Pioneers building an early shoe mine on that cutoff in the south for Talisman. Volksgrenadiers trying to engage the conscripts behind their sandbag wall. We'll stand behind the brick wall and return fire. Another penal squad coming out. Stern Pioneers getting the flank in the south in the middle VP. Surprised that he's not closing the distance here, but opting to utilize the cover. And with the Volks moving forward and everything else, VonIvan will just secede that. He's going to clown car of his own this time around, so we'll see some maybe combat engineers with the flame upgrades, and with them sitting back at home, it almost certainly looks like that, as he's only 5 munitions away. But his north cutoff is being contested from his opponent, so he's going to lose that munitions income, so he's lucky he's as close as he is. Now, the penal squad trying to engage these Stern Pioneers at a good distance. However, the Stern Pioneers do have the advantage, as the penals have to push into this, and he is mastered because that fuel income is not connected anymore either with the neutralization of that. But two penal squads against the Stern Pioneers, even at close range like that, it's going to go ahead and get him away. And VonIvan chasing for this with a little bit of extra damage. He does double back now finally to cap up that south cutoff point. We do have the clown car here, and he's waiting for that munitions, and he's going to go ahead and hop in. He needs to get in that munitions. He's 1 point away. It's just taking so long. And there he goes. He queues it up inside of his territory. He's going to hop inside the car. Conscripts losing this engagement quite handedly against the Volksgrenadiers, but he does connect up his fuel again with the capture of the South VP, or excuse me, the South Territory point. And the clown car will roll up north to deal with the Volks here. But I'm pretty sure he goes in the tank hunters with this build. I'm curious to see if he does it with the P2 as a potential from Talisman. If he doesn't see a P2, and if he doesn't see the 251 flag half track, he might delay it. So he's going to wait and see what he does. But this is his build when he goes into tank hunters. He builds that one conscript squad, goes into the penals for heavy anti-infantry effectiveness and the utility of the conscripts being able to get that upgrade for the PTRS that gives them the cloak, the RPG-40 AT nade assault, where every member throws it. Could be catastrophic, but it is the battle group in the 251 He gets the soft decap in the south again, so these penals are going to have to hop onto this. But yeah, this is almost certainly going to be tank hunters, but there is the option for urban defense. The M2, I think is what it's called. Yeah, the M42 AT gun. Only 200 manpower might be enough for VonIvan to feel comfortable in pushing that 251 off, but he says, nope, I'm going to go into tank hunters, so he's going to just follow his build. These guys are going to get the PTRS as soon as he can. However, I think that's 75 munitions, and he is a decade away from that, from losing his munitions in the aggressive play from Talisman across the map. This 251 mobile suppression platform from Talisman is going to be very hard for him to deal with as well. Since he did go into special rifle, he's entirely relying on the PTRS upgrades. And like I said, he is a good chunk away from ever getting into that point. And also this cheeky TM35, the clown car does come down here and decide to contest this, which very well may decide to do with the neutralization of the north. He might try and return a master cutoff to his opponent. He could drive right into that TM35, but it looks like the penals are going to wrap around from the middle and dodge these two Volk squads and get onto that, and also dodge the shoe. So that, once this is capped up, will be a full decap for his opponent. The 251 does show up north, sets up a little bit, gets a few first shots, and a good chunk of damage. He, however, cannot cap with that. Trying to pay it forward, Talisman is, by going past his opponent, albeit accidentally, and grabbing up this south territory point for the cutoff. Now the Volk's positioning to get on the retreat path of these penals, maybe get an extra model, but it shouldn't be too much. The combat engineers from the clown car with the ROKS-3 repairing up that clown car. 251 rolls up with a mobile suppression, fires one volley, one whole bullet of those penals, and then reloads, but that'll give enough time for VonIvan to react and retreat on out. And where are those conscripts, and how close are we? We're about a 20-second interval away from being able to get that munitions for those PTRSs. So right now this 251 is basically uncontestable. We have more sandbags being built on the middle VP, and the entire south end is cut off from VonIvan, but all it is taking is a territory point. He has to defend this with his life. He did put the conscripts inside of the clown car, so he's going to use this Red Wings style as a hitman squad, so to speak, to just drive up on top of the clown car. It seems to be what his choice is. But he is completely cut off. He's losing his munitions. He's losing his fuel. Everything is coming up again for Talisman. And this is just him moving across the map a little bit better, to be fair. MG34 now coming out. 251 trying to get the suppression. They are behind green cover. We'll get the suppression on that one squad. Is he upgrading right now? He is. PTRS is going to materialize out of this. However, he has to worry about those Volks throwing the snare down. The PTRSs, do they fire the right squad? They do. They get 2 shots, and there's the snare. He hops out, and he's looking to push up into this, and that might be a little ambitious. If he would have waited for that, the 251 could have been in a lot of trouble. And he's trying to get that clown car down. ROKS-3 should just engage this. There's no way in hell he's saving that squad. Penal's moving forward, trying to stop it. And there's the infiltration nades, so this will tell him that the scavenge doctrine was locked in. And with that, the conscripts and the penals will go home. 251 now with the only AT counter gone, gonna roll back up despite being half health and get these penals headed out of there too. He has to grab up this cutoff. He did get the south one, so if he were able to get a hold of that territory point, he'd be a-okay. Penals walk right by, high five those Stern Pioneers, and we'll have to retreat as well. And Von not looking like he's having a good time on his own map. 251 will get repaired up while the Stern Pioneers cap at the same time. And Von just has no income going into another clown car, going to put the PTRS conscripts inside of it again. If he can get enough munitions for the tank assault, he could drive up, hop out, get that off, and that will be the wipe of the 251. But I don't know if it's enough, because honestly, Talisman's going to be in the tier 4 sooner rather than later, and it's set up for the South VP. He's just waiting for the manpower for it, and there's the pin again. And our RKS-3 squad is the choice that hops into that, and will go up and contest the Volk Grenadiers in the north while he moves out of his base in the northwest to get that cut off again. Snare and then retreat, so the combat engineers will repair that up while capping that munitions. But VonIvan having a hell of a time against his opponent, and this honestly means that when this tier 4 goes down, we very well may see the Ostwind from OKW. PTRS conscripts trying to get this flank off. Talisman reading this, throws down the infiltration nades, and now this retreat path not looking that great as he's going to retreat right through that 251 flag half track, and he's dead. And that should be GG. That's GG. He's never getting out of his base now. Outmaneuvered entirely on the map. And Talisman, I guess you could argue, showing why he won GCS. And here's why I really feel like the M42 would have been better. It's just cheaper, 6-man AT gun, you can just call it in. And he still keeps his AT effectiveness, and it's not like the tank hunters give him any real value for late game. So yeah, just really curious about this, to be fair. Clown car trying to toast up the Volks. They did snare it up, so it's not going to push around the corner. MG34 now here. And VonIvan just keeps walking out through both points and just into the snares and the suppression and the pinning and the drop of the clown car again from the RKS-3 combat engineers. Gets the retreat from the MG34 and everything else. Any PTRSs coming out on these penals? Nope, and he's not going to be able to tech anytime soon. It doesn't matter if he does because he won't be able to get a vehicle out of it. But trying to threaten this a little bit. And that tier 4 is on that south cutoff. Just not looking good. Penal squad going to take a lot of damage on the retreat here. Flag thrown down for VonIvan. What's he building? Just more penals. It's the only thing he can really do. Honestly, he needs the back tech. He needs the back tech and the support weapon to have any chance in this game and get his this. This squad... Oh, he throws down the satchel that he's going to have to retreat through. And is that squad dead? If that 251 sets up in time, nope, the Stern Pioneers will be more than happy to pick up the kill. And it's just... Alright. At least the first game, we had an excuse with the building being crushed and dropping a Volk squad, but here was just a straight-up outmaneuver from his opponent. Was able to apply pressure on these cutoffs non-stop, picked up some key kills, realized what his opponent was doing, harass the munitions repeatedly. We have a fucking 13-minute Ostwind headed to the board. There's no way. The Ostwind's going to park in his base and just kill everything. Salvaging the wreck now with the scavenge doctrine. Penal's coming out. Hey. We're relevant for about another 3 seconds until the Ostwind's here, and then we're just gonna die. 251 getting the suppression again onto the cutoff. Penal squad just gonna get wiped. Von is tilted. If ever there was a tilt, this would be VonIvan's own tilting right here. We're witnessing it. As he is getting absolutely annihilated. Ostwind here, and hi, I'm going to drive into your base. Trying to build that tier 3. Good luck. And this strat does work if you have munitions, but he didn't have the munitions, and it came out too late, the PTRS conscripts, and it's just GG. He throws in the towel, and I don't blame him. But this really just comes from Talisman playing and watching VonIvan stream the whole time and knowing that this is the build that he likes to run in 1v1 and just harassing this directly or via the cutoff over and over and over again. And he just wasn't able to get his strat to function. I do think that the M42 AT gun would have gotten him a lot more value. And he still would have been able to maintain using penals. But it is what it is. We'll go ahead and get into the next one for those of you on the rerun or on YouTube. Hope you enjoyed it.